Hey, welcome into today's mobility opener. We are targeting the hamstrings, the calves, all the way into the arches of our feet and our toe mobility. Don't mind Willow here. She just is obsessed with the yoga mat. Remember, pause the video as much as you want today, guys. These are your positions to use to open up your body and to feel better after these 12 minutes. Everyone's different, so stay as long as you want in any of the poses.
All right, guys, let's set up
in
this
short mobility
slightly
opener.
down dog-like position. This is our seated toe flexion, so I want you to really focus on first having all 10 toes really flat and flush against the mat. Then we're going to bring the knees down and sit back kind of onto our calves. Willow will get out of the shot in a second, but you can see that our toes are really flexed under, and we're very passively sitting back on our calves because this is an extreme stretch. And we're already about 40 seconds left into this minute that we're doing the seated toe flexion on. Now, you might still have your hands on the ground like I am about to show just in a few seconds here, or you might be where both Mark and I are now. I actually have my hands on my thighs. This is kind of another beginner phase. Mark has his hands back on his Achilles, which promotes a little more lean on his toes. And now we're both going to show you the regressed version where we're coming to our fists on the floor. So that does it for about a minute. And that's a pretty intense stretch on the toes, the arches, into the Achilles. So again, do that stretch passively. Now we're just going to flip into a down dog position. Classic down dog. Now we're moving the stretch up from the feet to our calves, into our hamstrings, feeding all the way up the back of the posterior chain, through the lower back and pressing through the shoulders into the mat. We're also holding this position for just a minute. So really focusing on trying to get the heels close to the floor as you look at your belly button and really press those shoulders through the floor to pike your hips up. So you have about 30 seconds left in this position. I'm just gonna let you marinate here and kind of mellow out to the music as you stretch out the back of those legs into the calves. That about does it for the down dog position. Let's flip to a half kneeling position. Our right knee is down. We're going to shoot that left leg out in front with the heel down and toes up. You're going to see we keep a slight bend in that left leg extended out in front. We're holding this position for 2 minutes, and we are now very much targeting the hamstrings. Now, you might feel this in a different spot in the hamstrings depending on how much you bend the knee or actually extend the knee. If you straighten the leg out more, you're going to feel this stretch more behind the knee, which is a little bit more of just fascia and ligamentous connections versus bending the knee. Then you're going to feel that stretch move up towards your butt, going up the actual muscle group of the hamstrings. This is super important no matter what we do during the day. If you are an Olympic athlete or if you sit at a desk for a good chunk of the day, our hamstrings could use a lot of loosening. Keeping the hamstrings loose will keep so many things attached to your hamstrings, like the knee, your hips, and your lower back, feeling pretty supple. When your hamstrings become a problem, you feel it elsewhere. You feel pain potentially in your lower back. You might feel pain in your knee. When the hamstrings become a problem, the pain can radiate elsewhere. So we want to keep these bad boys nice and loose, pretty supple, and just let the chest fall over to the thigh. Have a heavy head for these last 30 seconds. Try and just let your body weight melt over that left hamstring into your hands, pressing into the floor with a heavy head, using a very deep breath. You have 15 seconds now. That about does it for that half split. We are going to do the same exact position, but on our right. So let's put the left knee down in the back, put that right foot out in front of us, heel down, toes up, and bring those hands to the floor to let your torso fall over that right thigh. Again, making sure that one, we have our knee a little bit bent, but again, play around with bending and straightening that leg. You'll notice where the stretch changes. Now, if we can't get our hands on the floor, stack some pillows up. Whatever you have. Stack some pillows up under your hands and make sure you're in a position that you can be passive. You can breathe really heavy, very relaxed breath, and just let that head hang heavy. You have about a minute now. I want you to focus on leaning that torso over the thigh and just being very patient with your breath, taking long inhales and even longer exhales. Make the inhales loud and the exhales even louder as your head hangs heavy for these last 50 seconds. That does it for our half split portion. Now we are going to do a left side extended arm lizard. So let's do a push-up position, then bring your left foot up next to your left hand, let the back knee relax, and then you're going to walk your hands out in front of the feet. Being very, very relaxed. The further you can walk your hands out in front of your feet and let your head hang heavy, the better. Now again, if we can't, there's different abilities in this. There's different ranges of flexibility. You can see my hands are further out than Mark's. You have about 30 seconds left in this position. Just try to put your pressure on your hands and let your hips lean deeper into the stretch. You might feel it more on your right hip flexor, or you might feel it more intensely in the left hip. That's okay. A little less than 10 seconds now. And when we get to the end of this position, so right about now, we're going to transition to a lizard just on our elbows now. So walk those hands back up patiently and try to get one elbow on the ground, then two. Again, if we've never done elbows on the floor, stack up some pillows, jackets, a medicine ball, whatever you have. Your level of elbows down on something might be higher than mine on the floor. And again, someone might be more mobile than me, or they might have their elbows further out in front of them. Everyone has a different ability or range or length of their leg, right? That can play a big role in this. So again, elbows on the ground, have a heavy head, long inhales and exhales that are loud so you can hear the breath. 15 seconds left here before we switch sides. You guys are doing great. And now we're going to slowly walk out of this position. Be patient coming out of it. And then we're just going to switch sides. So that left knee is back and on the ground, the toes turned under. We bring that right foot up next to the right hand as if it was push-up hands. Then we're going to do our extended arm variation for a minute, walking those hands out in front of the foot, hands out in front of the feet, looking straight down, let that head hang heavy. You have 30 seconds left here. Long, slow inhales and exhales. Now we are into our elbow lizard. Again, stack some pillows up. Even if you know you can get your elbows on the floor, I'd rather you have pillows and be more passive and more relaxed than you would be with elbows on the floor and kind of tense. The key here is to be really, really relaxed. Let the muscles open up, Let everything just kind of melt into a deeper range of motion. Again, let that head hang heavy. And I'm just gonna let you go here for the last 20 seconds.
All right, y'all, come on out of that position nice and slow. Good job today. Now, if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you will be notified of any new videos coming out around opening up for the shoulders, the hamstrings, the quads, whatever it might be. There will be more coming your way, so I look forward to you trying them out.